There we are. Alrighty, welcome. As always, I'm
Dang, I
your
look
commissioner.
a lot slimmer in the middle.
Right? I told you to get there. You know?
Shit.
It's nice. It
Right?
balances it out.
This is fine. I like
Welcome to
this.
Mats and Marks. I am your GCF Commissioner, Joseph Saint.
I am the owner, RJ Wallace.
It's your boy, the cameraman, Hollywood.
Before we start anything, let's see here. That right there. Just let it soak in for a minute.
Wait, hold on.
Let it all soak it in, man. Soak it in.
I have questions about this.
You have questions about this? Let's get right to it. Last night on, what is it even called?
WWE Backstage on FS1.
The show ended with Mr. Phil Brooks making his comeback-ish.
His infinite return finally back to, Fox, not the WWE. A lot of people think he
Exactly.
signed with WWE.
Exactly.
It's
Let's
not what
talk
happened.
about that.
It's been the rumor, he even clarified it himself that if he ever did agree to join WWE Backstage, it's because he wanted to be an analyst for Fox, not a worker for the WWE.
Root word of analyst, anal.
Now if you want proof even further, go on the WWE.com website where they don't mention him until you scroll down to the bottom of the page. This is breaking news, and if you wanted any questions in your mind, if Triple H still holds a grudge, it's nowhere to be found on their main website.
Yeah, this was the 100%
Well,
Fox hire.
they didn't even tag him in the thing.
No.
When they said he
No.
showed up, and Renee Young's like, so you're not going to tag him? I was like, no, because we don't affiliate with
bitter
that.
blood.
This is
No, yeah.
Fox.
So for everybody making up their CM Punk dream matches, or that he's going to enter the Royal Rumble and then challenge Lesnar at WrestleMania, maybe hold on.
So he's
on
not
those
going to be the
after.
final member of Team NXT on Survivor Series? What?
So yeah, am I excited he's back? Yes, I am,
Yeah.
and I've got a whole Q&A section, and I know there's some questions asked of us about it, and we'll get into that later. But like you just said, Punk is not back in wrestling. Punk is back.
Well, he's kind of back in the business of
He's-
talking
yeah.
about it, at least. So that concept I'm excited for, just to hear his point of view of the wrestling world. But
This can go either very left or because has CM Punk been
He's
watching
got a
the
job
product?
on Fox.
Yeah.
So really what he can, or FS1, really what he can do is go on and unbiased talk about what he thinks of the product. There's the problem.
yeah. Well,
I mean,
it's like
I'm happy about
it's
it.
kind of like inside the NBA with like Charles, Chuck, and
Right.
Kenny. That's what he's kind of pretty
Charles-
much doing. Except
Charles
it's
is
Renee,
always
CM
talking
Punk,
shit on the Lakers
and
just-
Booker T. That's the only difference with this one.
Yeah,
Christian
basically.
sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
And the biggest thing too, also Fox clarified he's not going to be there every week.
Yeah,
gonna be
he's-
there
he's on and off,
He's
yeah.
not a weekly attraction. Another thing to clarify, he doesn't want to do this all the time. But they're giving him a huge paycheck, even more money.
He's
than
working
AEW
on
offered him.
his terms.
Yeah. So again, I wouldn't get my hopes up about
No,
him showing
no,
up
yes,
into the
does-
wrestling ring. There is a rumor though that he may show up at Survivor Series, not for like anything specific, but for the pre-show.
On the panel.
Yeah, just to get that cheap.
So now they're trying to-
That would be interesting.
They're
Survivor
trying to make
Series is in
me-
Chicago. That's why.
They're trying to make me watch the kickoff shows. Is that what we're doing?
That's what they're trying to do.
I
They're trying to
don't
establish the
necessarily.
show.
If he does that already, I'll be surprised. I see
Yeah.
this being it's the opening. This opens the door for him to at least talk to McMahon because he's not going to sit down with Triple H and talk. So it opens the door for a McMahon meeting.
Yeah, you got to hope that maybe him talking about it
Exactly.
will make him fall in love with the wrestling again. But
He
I
walks
mean,
into the office and Vince is like, "Who is this?"
Well, and even then, it's not. Let's say that this leads to a return. This is not a full-time return. Punk
No.
is done with wrestling full-time. This would lead to a Mania match, if that, and I really don't even want to hear that right now.
A Mania match against Roman, and
Oh, no,
Roman
'cause
retires
Triple H will
CM
try and be
Punk.
like,
It'll be,
well,
yeah.
where we left off was you versus me, so let's go ahead and do that again.
We don't need that.
And then he'll walk away.
pretty much. Again, I mean, look, it is cool that he's back. Hearing Cult of Personality is, it's always
That
going to make me mark
that
out.
was cool.
It's a moment, but I wouldn't get my hopes up of an in-ring return.
The fact that
I mean,
Renee Young was the only one excited about that.
Well,
she's the only one that knew. Yeah, everybody
Oh,
else
yeah.
had no idea.
You hear Paige straight up say, "You just told me I can't curse, and you do this."
yeah, she was like, "Is this a rib?" Shut up, Paige.
I mean, it's pretty cool to see Adam Cole, Samoa Joe, and CM Punk.
Well, Joe
in a-
especially. You
Yeah.
gotta
'Cause
think
they were
that he's
best
just
friends,
like,
yeah.
We're friends, and you didn't even tell me this.
It's like shit. You can send somebody a text message. I mean, you think him and Seth are still best friends, or like good friends?
Were him and Seth friends?
I mean, they were in Ring of Honor at the same
Yes.
time.
But I mean, if you listen to all the stories, all the shoots, Punk ran Ring of Honor like he was the head honcho. And
This is true.
He rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. gee, who would have thought the future would have
Oh wow.
led to where it
Dang.
is.
A lot of bitter AEW fans as well about
Oh,
this, 'cause
very
they
much.
thought that they were going to land Punk, but again, Punk rejected the offer.
What would Punk do in AEW?
they wanted
How,
him to wrestle, and
absolutely.
they offered him
Punk-
a contract before the Chicago show in September, and he said no.
This is what AEW fans need to understand. Now, I shouldn't single them out as AEW fans. This is what fans of wrestling need to understand. Not every superstar is going to fit in another company. The
Yes.
only superstar from WWE that I think could fit, there's like a couple, but the only one
In
that
any company,
comes to
or-
mind that can fit in any situation he's put in,
Okay.
probably Orton. Orton understands the business enough to where he knows he's not going to be the main guy
But isn't that
everywhere
the
he
thing with
goes.
AEW is that they're offering like that freedom of
If Orton
finding
went
yourself.
anywhere else in the world, he would be the modern day Nash Hall.
Yeah.
He would show up for the big money,
Mm-hmm.
and then he would lead to having more power, and it would corrupt him.
But Orton with more creative freedom could be a lot more interesting. I mean,
As we know, that's not happening anytime soon because
Yeah.
he just resigned for
Yeah, he did.
4 or 5 years. I think.
yeah, him and The Miz both did 5 years.
Paige did like 3 years with the hopes of her maybe making an in-ring return,
Right.
That
that was announced yesterday as well. They're trying to make WWE Backstage like a Sports Center show, but the ratings were so bad the first week of the episode.
Oh, yeah, it
it
tanked.
was
It-
so bad.
well, because like
Well, I want to believe that they honestly had Punk the whole time and were saving it, and then as soon as it tanked. I don't think this was something where the ratings tanked and then they went, okay, now bring him in. I think they liked it. They had him in
Yeah.
the back pocket, and then when the ratings went, they're okay, well, let's
Well,
fast
from
track
what I
this.
heard, that negotiations were very difficult with Punk.
I
They
would
just
believe
kept stammering.
Well,
and last
it's-
week they said that they were done with Punk. Like they weren't going to sign him. That was a negotiation tactic because then this coming week,
Right.
looks like everything's set in stone now moving forward. I mean, they're pretty much set in for next week to have very high ratings because everybody's going to tune in
Right.
for
Well,
that
and that's why
immediately.
you leave him on the last 30 seconds of this
Yeah.
episode where he says, "See you next week." It's that was done right, but next week if it goes badly, you're not going to see him again. That's the truth.
Yeah, because we know Punk. If he doesn't like the situation, he's out of there, and he'll make another podcast with Cole Cabana talking about how they mistreated him, and then he'll sue him.
Yeah.
and Cole Cabana's like, well, you can come to the NWA, and he's like, I don't want to wrestle. It's like, is Jim Cornette still there?
I'll
It's
pass
like,
on
well,
that.
yeah.
Oh,
We
there's
forgot.
more. There's always more
There's
Cornette
always
questions for me, but we'll keep it going here. I mean, do we want to talk Grand World of Wrestling? I like to keep it more lately as the
Well, I just watched Power earlier.
NWA Power. Like I said, is a amazing throwback. But what they're on week 4, week 5.
Yeah.
It's treading. Here.
They're starting. I think they're starting to build their pay per view into the fire, and things got. It's weird.
Daunting.
So okay. So Camille, Nick Aldis's,
Right.
she's with Bram in Thomas Latimer in real life.
Okay.
So basically, Eli Drake came out and was like, "Yo, so I mean, you guys are trying to get Camille to talk. There's only one man in this locker room who can get her to squeal, and it's Eli Drake." He did his whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So of course, Bram, Thomas Latimer came out and was like, "Yo, stay out of my business."
Oh, so they're actually playing up. Okay. So they're using real life. All right.
And I was like, "Okay."
Interesting.
So at the end, it was the tag title match. It was Homicide and Eddie Kingston versus the Wild Cards, which is Thomas Latimer and we tried to book him too. Damn.
Couldn't help you there.
He's on Championship Wrestling from
I know
Hollywood.
exactly who you're talking about. Don't know the guy's name, but yes, the wrestler's the wild card.
Yes,
on
and
NWA Power.
at the end, it kind of ended in a little brawl, and Camille came out, and Thomas Latimer was looking at her, and like Nick. So Nick Aldis was sitting at ringside, basically, and he kind of was doing some like sneaky stuff to kind of like keep things, because he's like, oh, since I'm the world's champion, I want to make sure every champion is on their P's and Q's and like on their toes. So I was like, all right, so you're like the champion general manager here at NWA. It's interesting.
Quincy, you want on next week? Join us. The invite's always there.
Yeah, man, come on down.
Always. Come on, talk up Rival Pro. What?
Oh yeah. mhm.
I let other promotions on here. What are you talking about? We got
The only promotion we've let on is OCCW.
3PW.
Oh, and 3PW. Okay.
All right there. Okay. So yeah, let's talk rumors. Let's talk. I like moving on to rumors here. This is always funny to me. ACH
Yeah.
Oh, I saw
Go
that.
Watch that video.
I saw that today. Royce Isaacs. Thanks, Quincy.
Man, I have the quote right here. What he fully said. He put, "I refuse to work for racist. I hate the WWE and everything they stand for. All they ever did was hold us back." Officially quitting the WWE. I mean, they were gonna fire him anyways. Vince wanted him gone.
They couldn't fire him, let's be real, because of what went down. And we
Well, yeah.
went over this a couple weeks back, and I stood by him.
Yeah.
I didn't like when he started running. So it's for the culture, then why run down your own culture?
Yeah.
Like, the minute you brought Jay Lethal and ran him
He
down.
straight up Antonio Browned himself out of a job.
Yes. And so now you're going on and on about, again, W's just being racist. I'm like, okay, Swerve would argue right now that he's having a great run.
Leo Rush.
Leo Rush.
Lashley. Lashley's living the black man's dream right now on the main roster. If you ask me, what? You know, I mean, like, you can't. He went totally
Another thing that a
wrong
lot of
way
people are
about it.
slandering him right now is that he said that that Jordan Miles' name was a slave name, but he's the one that picked the
Don't,
name.
yes,
So
don't
that's
call
another
me by
one.
that slave name.
Yeah, he's the one that picked it, so it's kind of,
Interesting.
yeah.
I don't see him showing up anywhere big anytime soon.
No, and
No.
You're not showing up to Ring of Honor
well,
now.
that and you claim you don't want to work for racist. Well, hello, welcome to the wrestling business. There's a lot of racist white promoters out there that you were going to work for. I'm sorry. You go to New Japan, they're not going to take you seriously. It's going to happen.
Ooh, there's some interesting New Japan.
Oh yeah,
I'll get to
oh
that.
yeah. You want to go to NWA with Jim Cornette and Billy Corgan? Yeah,
Okay,
no.
Don't throw
Or,
Corgan's name
Baron.
in with, you know.
sorry, but you know.
Well, Cornette's there. So.
Yeah, you want to go to you want to go
I'll
to
stand by that. I'll
One's
bury Jim
established.
every week. And again, I got more for that later.
you want to go to TNA with Don Callis? I mean, come on, dude. Like the list goes on. Like you got to pick and choose what you say. Like yeah, the wrestling business is racist. It's jaded. It's crooked. Just like any other form of entertainment. Like. Come on, man.
Yeah, like you said, he totally Antonio Brown the whole situation. He was
Right.
going about it the right way for a little bit, and then it just went totally sideways real fast. I mean, I get him quitting and all that, but the way he went about it just... And again, you can't say that's a slave name when you picked it. It doesn't work like that, man. You're the one that chose the name, you know?
And you go back to the whole shirt ordeal.
Yeah.
I understand if what he said was true, I can understand being shown a shirt on white and seeing it one way, and then when it's on a black T-shirt, it looks another. You blasted them. They took it off. You continued to blast them.
Yeah, the message was sent, and you went for,
It's-
like, over-exaggeration at that point. And
Like,
again,
what did you think the outcome was going to be after that?
yeah, of course, you're not going to put you back on TV after you go on a tirade, especially on Twitter. It was never going to work out that way. But talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling, there's a rumor out there that they're trying to ban Kenny Omega from even performing in Japan. Kenny kind of hinted it on Twitter. New Japan is denying it, but he said the last 2 times that he's flown to Japan, he's faced very difficult times just entering the country.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and the rumor is out there that New Japan is very bitter towards Kenny Omega,
Why?
and they don't want him working in Japan any
they were
promotion.
very upset with
I mean,
all of the elite for leaving them.
Well, because he was just at DDT, like what?
Well, he said that
right
when he
before
went for
Full
that
Gear?
show, it was very difficult for him to show up because he just faced they would not let him go through, and it said it's pretty much a thing that New Japan's trying to force him out of there completely. The biggest issue they said is that Kenny, when he said that he was going to AEW, he was filming in front of some New Japan place, and they said it was disrespectful towards the company. Obviously, New Japan is denying it, but Kenny's pretty much hinting that that's exactly what's happening right now.
I mean, I wouldn't want to fuck with anybody.
Well,
in
look,
Japan,
go back
though.
and watch the final matches of all of the elite in New Japan before they left. They did their best to bury the Young Bucks out there on their final night. Even the commentators talked crap on them the final match they had. And
Plus, I mean, you got to figure they're also trying to get some New Japan talent to jump, to their brand. So obviously, Kenny's just not welcomed in Japan
Well,
anymore.
they got a lot of DDT talent, though, didn't they? Well, at least from the women's division,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or what was that Chinese? The OWE.
OWE, which Oriental Wrestling. I forget the name, but yes, they got
That's where they got SEMA from, and
Rio.
yeah, Riho.
Now, let's talk on ACH got to quit. Let's put it that way. At least you got
But
to
Sin
quit.
Cara didn't get his
let's
release?
talk. Sin Cara asked for his release
Wow.
this week. Sin Cara will not be granted his release.
And I think he was on Raw this week, too.
Right, but that was filmed prior,
Yeah.
so that was in England. They filmed it. I think he decided to quit right after the
But you would think
match.
they would edit that
Yeah.
out, and showing it kind of like...
Shit match. I'm gonna quit.
When you guys need me, tell her to come get me to put that up stuff.
So, Sin Cara asked for his release. He's not going to be granted the release.
No.
He joins a list now. Mike Bennett asked for his release a month back, and they're going to let them sit out. Luke Harper asked for his release before they brought him back in.
They'd rather just freeze the contract.
And this is the question. What do you do with that? Do you really believe if you live in fear that they're going to be stars somewhere else, why not let them be stars?
Especially
If-
somebody like Sin Cara. Like, come on.
Well, and
You've
if-
had
go
like
to AEW
you've had like
with
5
Chris
Sin
Jericho?
Caras in the last
You
8 years.
own the
What-
name Sin Cara.
what's
so
the loss?
release-
Let the guy
What
go.
is
Keep the
releasing
name.
Hunico going to do to hold you back?
You
Because
can
he'll
find
come
another
back as
Mexican
Hunico and be
around if you
over.
wanna.
Oh shit! He'll go back to AAA with Conan.
Go slap Ray's kid with the Sin Cara gimmick next, you know?
The
Man.
mantle has been passed. It's like Batman.
Sin Cara lives forever.
Oh fuck!
I feel worse for
The plot twist of the century, Sin Cara is actually Dominic's dad.
Well, and let's be real. Sin Cara being released, Hunico would go make money in Mexico. Does WWE really see Mexico as competition? They haven't treated it like competition for 2 decades.
I don't think Vince sees Mexico as much of
No.
anything.
And he could go do good out there. You know,
You
Del
can
Rio's
make
got a
him.
promotion
You can make
out there.
Humberto Sin Cara.
Yeah, they would. They really would. I could see that.
I think the biggest thing is they just don't want any talent
They
leaving at
don't.
all.
They're living in fear
Yeah.
of every promotion right now. And yes,
You can
it's
bring
mainly
T.J. Perkins
AEW,
back and
but-
make him Sin Cara.
He's not going to go to AEW. And even if he does, he's going to make much of an impact.
No.
Or maybe he'll go to Impact too. That's another thing that they're pretty much worried about with their new
Impact
access.
does a lot of tours in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that-
Release Harper. Release Bennett. Let them go back to Ring of Honor because I don't think either of them are going to
Well,
AEW.
at least they kind of used Harper in a better way than. You know,
Yeah, but he
still
doesn't
they waited
want to
a
be
long
there.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, Harper just doesn't want to be there.
He's not happy.
So how does that work? They freeze your contract, but they still pay you.
Yeah.
sit out your own contract. So
Until
yeah,
it
But you
expires.
still you
It
still have
doesn't
to
say
travel.
anything.
No, well, if they need you, you're on demand.
Yeah.
So like Luke Harper, that doesn't want to be there, they still flew him out to Saudi Arabia. They still trapped him
Yes,
there
it's
with
a
everyone else.
contractual obligation.
And they're just like,
Well, the same
Hey,
thing.
hey.
The same thing happened to Jr. He wanted to get out of his contract, and he was frozen for almost a year, waiting to get out of it.
Well, and
can
not
you-
to mention the injuries. Like
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy, in theory, his contract should have been up a couple months ago. They tacked on extra time for every injury he has.
And they supposedly have no plans
Well,
of using
that-
him, though he's
No.
actually healthy.
I'm a little amazed Ray ever came back because if anyone remembers that whole ordeal a couple years back, they held him out for a year of his contract. He wanted out, and they were like, "Your knees have been so messed up, we could own you for another 2 years."
yeah, but then I think him showing up at All In and the reception he got from that
Kind
was
of,
like, you
yeah.
know what? Okay,
Put some pressure onto
yeah.
their pocket, so they had to resign him with whatever money he wanted at that time.
But that's funny you bring up the Jeff Hardy stuff because
Yes, the rumor is they have nothing for him.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff Hardy, while he is very entertaining,
He burned
I've,
his
I've
bridges.
always been a Matt guy, but Jeff, you can't use him anywhere other than the States. He can't.
Oh,
go
yeah,
out-
'cause he is
with all of his felonies.
Yeah.
He can't get into Canada. He can't get into Mexico. Even TNA had the problem every time, and they did the same thing where every time.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
was
TNA
going
had
to
that
Canada,
big
they had
Europe-
Jeff get jumped mysteriously.
or yeah, when they had that Europe tour, he had to like
So that's a Jeff Hardy
or
issue more than anything.
that
else.
was during the Willow thing. They had Matt Hardy kill him or something.
Yep.
Yeah, that's man.
Which I heard
Jeff,
that he's
dude.
trying to bring that to the WWE. WWE's
Willow the
like-
Willow?
Witch did
Yeah.
not work in WWE.
No.
by any
He's been
means.
teasing it on
I mean, they
Instagram,
tried
but
it.
WWE's not going to use
Did
it
they?
anyways.
Remember when when they had when the Hardys were feuding with the Wyatts
Yeah.
and they did the match at the compound, and they had Willow show up. Yeah,
Are you,
I
you're
think
getting
so.
TNA in that mix.
or am I getting all that
Yeah, I don't
confused?
think
Because
that-
all of
I
that
don't
was the
know.
Hardys
same.
fighting at the compound, just Matt and Braden.
It was that, yeah.
Like I know Brother Nero was there during the.
The
Ultimate-
closest we
Yeah,
got from
yeah, I was
Willow
like-
was when he was like becoming world heavyweight champion back
Right.
in the SmackDown days, and he was facing Taker, and he had like the glow in the dark face paint on and stuff. That was like the closest we ever got to it. But I don't think he ever fully went Willow on WWE. He's been teasing on Instagram, but again, WWE doesn't even want him
No, they're not.
in the ring.
Well,
Maybe
Matt
I'm
Hardy had to
getting
go
that
make up
confused.
his own YouTube videos just to get
Just to
himself
tease
still
them,
out
yeah.
there. Free the Delete. That's the name of the YouTube
Free the
clips.
delete.
Go watch them. They're only like a minute long, but they're entertaining.
And
'cause
WWE
Matt
doesn't
Hardy's
give a crap
entertaining.
Well, here's another one that Chris Jericho said, which I thought was pretty interesting. I would love to get your guys' opinion about this. Chris Jericho compared NXT, now that's on the USA Network, to ECW in 2009. saying that NXT
that's
ECW?
to the reboot of
disrespectful.
ECW. Now that he says that NXT has lost that special touch that it had before, going to the USA Network.
I said this before they made the jump. I'm not going to talk about the product, but I made the same connection. I lived in fear that that's what would happen. Now, did it happen quite yet? No, but this three-way interfering on every show, if it doesn't get dropped very like right after Survivor Series, it has the potential to bury the product. It's not a good thing. It worked when they were in Saudi Arabia because you had NXT stars show up. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
But then when you have the OC show up on NXT and jump guys, it's not the same feeling.
They just had Bailey show up on NXT
She
tonight.
ended up showing up tonight. It's not, and I get it. It's a three-way war. Well,
And
needs to
it's
end.
also the confusion of they're bringing in NXT UK people too.
And you don't know where and UK is feuding with regular NXT, which but this is just Raw, SmackDown, NXT. So
But this
does
is
UK
also
fall
my
under the
problem
banner,
with
or-
Survivor Series.
Yes.
The heels team with the faces and they're friends for like a month, and then it goes back to same old shit.
It's just more of a ratings grab, and it's working. I mean, that they came really close to surpassing AEW last week with the whole
They did.
invasion angle stuff. I think they will at some point. Before
Oh,
Survivor
absolutely.
Series.
This isn't going to be some WCW situation of.
I hope
89
so, to
weeks.
be
It's
honest.
Not.
Let's-
AEW's not going to stay on top of that.
No, if you
many
look at
weeks in a
last
row.
week's number, it was very dangerously close. So I think maybe even.
I
this
mean,
week they
who
have it.
is NXT's Booker T? We can have Seth find them in the grocery store and beat them down.
Yeah, that was one of the best SmackDown segments. Of all.
Yes, and who's NXT's Buff Bagwell?
I mean, that's mean. I don't want to put that on anyone.
I mean, Buff was pretty over for like
In WCW.
A while.
And well, before they put his mom on a pole match. I like Buff Bagwell, but WCW ruins everything. Road Dogg created that hashtag. I thank him forever for that. Buff Bagwell is a sad story. You can go pay for him in Vegas. He had his own.
Wait,
true story.
what?
Buff
You
Bagwell's
go pay for him in
he's
Vegas?
a gigolo in Vegas.
Shut the fuck up.
Jesus,
He
no
was
way.
on a show about gigolos on HBO not too long ago.
Is yours?
True story.
No, that's weird. I'm not gonna make that comment. I'm not gonna do that. So if I went to Vegas,
You could probably find him. I mean, you could certainly find Godfather's brothel in Vegas.
yes, I'm down to go to that. I mean, I wouldn't want to pay Buff Bagwell for anything. Just,
Well, I
Somewhere at the
hope
Caesar's
you
Palace
wouldn't.
buffet.
no, but I'm just like, yo, like, hey, can I talk to you, man? Like, I was a
How
fan.
much to talk for an hour?
How much to talk wrestling for an hour?
Hey, Buff, they call me RJ. How are you?
You want to come to GCF, restore your career?
You want to be a star?
You want to be a star? Then we just throw Val Venus's gimmick at him. Just old. You think he's still buff?
You know,
Yeah, book him against Guy Cole, right? If we ever had that happen.
Buff Bagwell versus Guy
Come on.
Cool?
that would be.
That's a dream match.
Put his mom on a pole again.
I mean, would I?
Reimagining
I think
history.
personally I would have to throw Gooston in a match with Buff Bagwell.
Oh, put Gooston on a pole?
Don't.
Guy Cool versus Buff Bagwell. Gooston on a
his
pole.
own, recommendation for. I don't want to get into all that.
Man, GCF books itself sometimes,
It
guys.
does.
That's-
While we're still addressing, this isn't quite rumors. This is, let's say, backlash. AEW has a little bit of backlash from some fans, loosely.
little bit of the backlash.
AEW is too violent. Is AEW
Ain't that some shit?
too violent?
That's amazing. That's amazing.
We can't
First
please.
of all, you can't
Wrestling
ask me
fans
that
can't be
question.
pleased worth a damn, can
Thank
they?
you.
And you can't complain about like, oh, the Hell in a Cell match between Seth and the Fiend, it was so bullshit, and then come out and be like, this is too extreme.
Well, exactly. And this is my issue. Is AEW too violent? Like, compared to what? You're used to WWE. If you like that product, watch the product and enjoy it. But you don't. You don't enjoy anything that you watch.
They have programmed their audience
And
though
this
to
is
have
the
those
fans'
feelings.
mentality.
The-
It's,
are these
you
the
watch AEW? Fuck you. You watch WWE? Fuck you. We hate you. We hate you.
Are these the
Is
same
there
people-
Anything you could just enjoy?
Are these the same people who booed Drake at Tyler the Creator's Festival?
Don't get me started on that one.
Because this is bullshit. You shit on WWE for not being too hardcore and for a Hell in a Cell match that ended in a disqualification. And then you get John Moxley, who, before he went to
Let's be
WWE,
real.
was
Exactly.
in CZW.
You got to finally see John Moxley not be Dean Ambrose, and you hated it. And so you're to blame. You are to blame for Dean Ambrose's
You
demise.
did this.
I mean, what did you want to see Lesnar Dean Ambrose again when they just threw a bunch of chairs into the ring? Is that the extreme you guys want?
At a WrestleMania for crying out loud.
Another thing that I see, like a lot of people are complaining about, is how like, oh, it was way too soon for them to have this match. They've been building this match for 6 months.
yeah.
They've been teasing the weapons that this couldn't be a regular match. I mean, the first show of Dynamite, he threw Kenny through a glass like table. I mean,
Yeah,
they've
and
been
did we
building to
forget
that.
from that first instance of them getting together
all the way since May they've been teasing it.
from now? Yeah. AEW barely started in September.
Yeah. Aside from just Ambrose as well, let's talk about Cody. Let's say that you think Cody and Jericho went overboard. This was the first pay-per-view the promotion has held since they've been on
weekly TV.
Yeah. Were they going to step it up? I would hope they would.
Yeah.
They're out there putting their promotion on the map right now. Did Cody take a bump that maybe he shouldn't have? I mean, if you saw his eye, it looked like hamburger meat afterwards.
And that wasn't because they went too extreme. That was just because
it
how
was-
they built the
You
entrance
think he
ramp.
brings back the dashing gimmick?
No.
No.
Him like wrestling with the mask? Oh,
Brings the paper bags out
you're
to the
only
audience.
smoking
Well, then,
mirrors.
I won't go into spoilers because it already aired tonight, but some people haven't seen it. But Cody already opens up the stitches tonight.
Jesus Christ, Cody.
Takes
Kind of a
after
cool
his
way, though,
father.
yeah.
Look who he was raised by. There is nothing. This is wrestling.
Yeah, and back to Moxley Omega again. They built to it. They established it for weeks, months. I mean, this is what they wanted to introduce Moxley as. I mean, they said it also that they're not going to always have these matches either.
No.
It was a one-time thing that they built to. So I don't get why people were complaining about it being too extreme or that.
Wait till
this
they start
match
that
is
hardcore
nervous.
division.
They want to nitpick everything.
Yes.
They want to nitpick that it was called an unsanctioned match. They want to nitpick that that match didn't count on the rankings, but rankings is supposed to count. You can't hold them accountable.
Well, that was part of the storyline.
It's fucking wrestling. It's not real.
It's part of the storyline of them not wanting.
I'm
to have
sorry.
that L in the record.
Oh,
RJ will be fired soon.
like it's. Come on, like what are we getting mad
Wrestling.
about?
Fans get mad about everything in today's product. It's literally the OK Boomer generation versus the millennial. Oh, I'm not taking a side on that either because I hate the term millennial. You call me a millennial, I'll super kick you. But it's the truth.
It's a very millennial thing to say, Saint.
It was kind of like that
They wouldn't
Cody
know how to
promo
pull it
last
off.
week.
Yeah, like, man,
Watch what you want to watch and enjoy it. If you don't
and
enjoy
shut
it,
the
up.
fuck up.
And
Oh.
maybe watch them establish it before just jumping into it without any history about it.
There
because if you
is
just jump
something
into it,
for everyone in wrestling.
Yeah.
If you focus on everything that you hate, it's what tarnishes the product, and that's the biggest problem with all of the product.
and you
today.
become a person like Jim Cornette.
man, even miserable CM Punk came back. I mean,
Right?
that should tell you enough right now.
Come
So,
on,
I mean,
get
wrestling
over
is good.
yourselves.
Wrestling's
Yeah.
good.
Even
You're
Batista
making
came
yourself
back at one
miserable
point.
by
Like,
trying
come
to pick
on,
a side that's like
You know?
unnecessary.
like relieve yourself of the stress. You know,
Yeah.
it's wrestling.
And they have an entire division that you knew you were. Do you really want to see Darby Allin wrestle regular matches?
No.
Do you want to see Janela, who destroys his body, wrestle regular matches?
No,
Why have these guys that want to go put on something that you're not going to see everywhere else and just be like, that's too violent? Like, hell no. Every one of you guys, welcome to the UV division. Come on over.
yeah, come on down.
You want to
Like,
see
then
wrestling
again, it
that
goes
gets
back
too
to the whole thing.
violent?
I mean,
If
we
it's
don't
too
have
violent-
insurance here, but come on down.
If it's too violent, then you cannot complain about the WWE does in Hell in a Cell matches and their stupid Extreme Rules matches. Then you are
wait
fine
till they
with
see
that.
the main event of NXT tonight because the women went too violent in that ladder match.
Oh,
All right.
how dare those women?
How dare those women put on matches?
Those
Actual matches.
those
I
goddamn
hate
women
that.
wrestling. Oh,
We want a revolution. Boo.
You think we're gonna-
Boo. Now
Yes.
that we got it. Boo.
no, I'm not gonna say that. There's a woman in the room,
Getting
and
triggered
there's
about too
and,
much wrestling.
and there's women,
2019.
and there's women
This
watching.
was kind of our. That was my random, or not random. That was my wide world spiel. That was my rumor mill.
You think we're
spiel.
gonna get like that world?
Hell no. Because I'll be putting on violent matches till the day I die.
You're both already old.
I'm not old. I'm not
You
old,
give me
man.
a couple years, I'll be fighting for that UV division.
Oh fuck! All right. it's like you heard
Saint O'Mac. Yeah, I know. Got me in trouble
are we-
last time, didn't it?
what Saint O'Mac?
Ah, shit. Do we have any more rumor mill, or is there anything else you want to go over Hollywood before I go?
Let me see. I gotta check my notes. Pretty much. Oh well, the Raw viewership hit a record low.
Hell yeah.
Just want to throw
So
that out.
after I tell everyone not to bury the product, and then I start.
I
laughing.
mean, they're doing that themselves. It's not like we're like.
Actually, yeah, I do want to talk about something on Raw that I saw that was just hilarious but stupid. So this Lana Rusev Lashley
The
thing.
greatest segment of all time.
Oh, Lana's promos put me in a place. So she got mad. So all this is stemming from she was mad Rusev wanted to have sex with her in the tank at WrestleMania 31 5 years
Wait,
ago.
they said that actually.
She says that in the promo. That Rusev is a sex addict, and I left him because he wanted to have sex with her before his match with John Cena at WrestleMania 31 in the tank.
So she stuck out the next couple of years after that.
But it was like, that was 5 years ago.
Girls never forget.
It's a classic case of women bringing up old shit. I tell you, this is fucking ridiculous.
It's. I try and stand by Paul Heyman so much.
It's such an easy
Nah, Paul.
storyline.
Paul, you played yourself with that one.
Come on, man. You.
5 years ago,
I have nothing to say about that.
I mean,
and Rusev being a
however, what I will, because I haven't gotten to say it, Rusev looks better than ever though.
Rusev looks
He looks like
looks like a
champion.
he's
man.
great, and he's involved in this segment.
And
Which then he was
honestly-
defending online, saying that he's kind of involved in it,
Well,
helping.
what's-
It's like you're not helping the cause by saying that you're
I'm
involved in the
upset that he's
storyline.
growing out the rest of the facial hair. 'cause
I know.
dug
I
a mustache.
got used to the mustache.
Yeah.
Ricardo Montalban looking. Come on, man.
But I think it didn't look great with the spray tan that he did when he first came back. So I was like,
Looked
yeah,
like
no.
thick Freddie
well,
Mercury
not to
out
mention
there.
that all
man.
this started with a storyline involving Maria, who they dropped because the husband asked for
Because
the
he didn't want to do it
It's like,
anymore.
well,
So
your
he
husband,
just threw
your
it.
husband doesn't want to be here. So
The best part is when they started to involve Maury Poppins. That's when he was like, "I'm out.
Yeah,
I
he's
want
like-
out. Release me from my contract. I'm not going to be part of the Maury show."
yeah, no. It's like, what would my wife be doing with Ricochet? That's what I would be.
And then
asking.
Rusev and Lana were like, "We'll do the storyline."
No, Lana was like, I'll do the storyline. I want to be on TV. She's like, all right.
These Instagram posts.
It's like, so who else wants to be on TV? Oh, is that Bobby Lashley down there? Come on down.
Lashley can't act. Let's give him a segment that involves him being on the
And
mic
that's
every
also
single week.
so you.
Looking
Leo
like he's
Rush got blessed getting away from Bobby Lashley.
Let's put a big old guy that looks like he's confused wherever he is, even in a match. You put him in a match, he looks like he doesn't know how. Like, why did they do that?
It's like, did I just hit that spear?
You have the look. You have, and when you hit moves correctly, you do them very good. But you look like you're confused, whatever situation.
It is
you're in.
real
I
sad.
have not liked him since day one.
They
It's-
should have
no,
replaced
it's
Lashley with
real
Shelton
s-
Benjamin.
Yes, Shelton Benjamin with Lana. That would be.
That would have been.
That would be some television.
He would've
What?
done good matches as well.
Well, not just that.
Shelton Benjamin has been the most underused wrestler for a very long time.
And they took away his fucking entrance music.
I know.
Yeah.
Ain't no stopping me now.
that was. He
Banger.
doesn't do
Pissed me
anything.
off.
He doesn't do the singer
Banger.
splash. He doesn't do the dragon whip.
He's
All
not the
these-
golden. He's not the gold standard anymore. I miss when he looked like Cisco.
There's Charlie Haas. That's what should bring back.
World's greatest tag team.
Oh man, but yeah, dude, like
I
that.
threw that entrance in that shitty video game. I'm all over the place, but the entrances they throw into that game to try and counteract the terrible game itself.
Have they patched it yet? Or
No,
are they still waiting?
They released a patch, and then you turn on the game and it still
There's been
crashes.
8 patches for NBA 2K. You're telling me they can't get at least 3 out? For
I'm
WWE?
still playing NBA Live
Yeah,
19.
the
So
entrances they have so many like ECW entrances. I'm like, yeah, you couldn't throw them in the game as legends. Why not just give me like a UK
There-
UK or whatever their product is, Legends of Wrestling that they do.
whatever their product is. Yeah, Lakers winning.
21.
Fuck yeah, dude.
All right.
Yeah, dude, like that Lashley. Like she left Rusev for being a sec. Have you seen yourself on it? You expect Rusev to not want to hit that?
Or
like
no,
at least
Lashley
like
was injured because he was slaying too much dick down on her. I mean, good God. Dude.
I tore my
Pulled his
groin.
yeah, and the
You
delivery-
know how I did it.
You know how I did it. I tore my groin.
I was
and then he
like-
stares blankly and goes, and not in the way you'd think. Like, no, we get what you're trying
It's
to
like,
say.
yes,
You
bro,
just
we-
can't communicate.
It's like he's always trying to. What was that one movie, Get Out? You know, when their eyes get like big and wide. It's like, dude, are you in this Get Out? Are they hypnotizing? Is this the storyline we're doing here?
That's how she got him. You know how white women treat us, man. Man. Like that was just hilarious. Like really, he pulled his groin, just blowing her back out. Why is she not in a wheelchair then? Once you go black, right?
There you go. All right, guys. We have a loaded Q&A.
Let's ask Kurt Angle.
Let's get away from the product. I mean, I think many of these questions are going to take us right back into the WWE. But loaded Q&As here. Keep them coming in the comment section if you have any more for us.
Shout out to our guy TJ Swat. Today's his 14-year anniversary as an announcer, right?
There's going to kind of be a question there too, but yes, very.
Shout out to our veteran
TJ,
color commentator.
14 years later, has made it.
And ain't he like 52? Like,
Who knows?
damn, he's been in the business for a cool minute. That's crazy.
And that's not even counting how long he's been in some other businesses, but we can't get into all those.
Since the dawn of
Question
time.
1 for the Q&A.
There's a whole catalog of it.
Oh, this is just me related. All right. Guys, I can't talk shit on him every week, but I will. Why does Cornette hate you?
Who asked that?
Why does Cornette hate you? Let's be real. I don't pretend like Cornette even knows who I actually am. Jim Cornette doesn't hate me. Jim Cornette hates wrestling. Boomer. Old man. You don't... And you're not speaking for the people, because I watched the show last night, and I won't get too into it. I like the Royal Ramble guys. BA of all people, you said that he's just saying what we're all thinking. If Jim Cornette's saying what you're thinking, got news for you, man. It is not for the culture. I'm just saying.
He said it.
Jim Cornette.
You might as well give Jim Cornette a "Make Wrestling Great Again" hat.
Fuck
you.
me in the face. Let's not do that.
And the NWA stood by you. Oh, so no, Jim Cornette hates everyone. Cornette hates wrestling. Cornette hates the product. Cornette hates that he lived past the 80s. I hate that you lived past the 80s too, Jim. I wish you didn't make it through that decade. You didn't offer us anything in it, and you didn't offer us anything since. Take your racket and fucking choke on it.
Is he a WWE Hall of Famer?
I hope not.
She might
Surprise
be.
me. Woo! All right.
Woo! If he didn't hate you then, he hates you now.
Jim, hit me up, man.
Somebody
Someone
clip this
tag
whole
him.
thing and send it
Come
to
on
Cornette.
down. Interview me. I'll interview you. Come on. Watch my product. Let's just talk shit.
We want the smoke.
Talk shit on our product for a good hour. See what I got to say.
Yeah, on one of your fucking terrible podcasts that you put out every week. Yeah.
If he did say this, he'll
Pick
just
one.
tweet some homophobic thing, and then NWA would
absolutely.
be like, "It's okay." We still
Oh,
stand
I
by Jim
want Cornette to call me.
I would. You know what, Jim? I've got a whole UV division to show you, man. Come on, tell us.
No,
what you
I
think
want
about
Cornette
it.
to accidentally call me the N-word so I can sue him, and then I own a stake of NWA.
I'll
And,
start
yo,
off by spitting in your face and saying, "Is that what it felt like when Callahan became a fan of him?" Or, "Oh, you were everything wrong with wrestling." I've said that like 4 weeks.
There's
ago.
a reason why every company gets rid of them at some point.
You
the fact that Conan got rid of you says a lot. Conan.
All right, guys. Wait, I can't just focus on Jim. I did that 3 weeks ago. I did that 2 weeks ago. I'm wasting way too much of my time.
This was goddamn boom.
We kind of went over this already, but I'll get into it. Phil Brooks, smart move for Fox or desperate move for WWE?
Both.
Yes.
Yeah, both.
I don't feel that. I think WWE gave their blessing. Let's be
They
real.
did. It's reported that
But-
they did.
I don't feel that they had necessarily any pull in executing that.
No, absolutely
So-
not. Again, it's Fox. They're trying to make the whole sports aspect of wrestling.
Yeah, and to a certain extent, they're doing small things that are good. What you're going to get eventually here, if they don't cross promote well enough, is you're going to get a war between USA and Fox, which is probably going to be better for the product.
Most likely, yes.
You're creating competition within yourself because of two networks.
So just
I
Raw
mean, that's a
versus
very cool
SmackDown
thing.
year round?
Yeah.
Well, Raw and
I mean,
NXT.
they're not in that aspect. What they're going to push for is ratings war with yourselves. They used to do it. I mean, back in the day when you had Heyman running backstage at SmackDown, Taker's told the stories of they would look at the ratings every week and cheer when SmackDown would win, like get higher than Raw did. I mean,
Yeah, I
The
remember that.
Heyman Bischoff years.
Yeah.
But I mean, it works. It's gonna work. I think the people are gonna watch. That's why. That's the main focus. I mean, yeah, maybe he's gonna be a little bit controversial, but that's why Fox wants him. And it is reported that WWE did give their blessing. Fox did go out to WWE and ask them, "Can we hire him?" WWE said, "Fine." Fox wanted him bad, and here we are. I mean,
Wait, Fox asked WWE for input?
Yeah, I still
Not
think it's
necessar-
okay.
Yeah, I think it was more.
So
like,
what
this is
happened when
we're
Kofi
doing,
got
like-
10 seconds?
Vince, you think Vince wasn't fully behind that decision from Fox?
Probably.
I mean, but let's talk about that too. Fox made a big deal of trying to acquire Brock before this draft even happened.
And now he's
I'm
back on.
curious how they feel now that he's gone. But they wanted the Fiend too, so I'm sure if Vince was smart, he'd go, guys, you're getting
You have
one.
to pick one, yeah.
No.
You can't have both. I mean, there's
The
no way I'm
Fiend
gonna
you get
leave.
all year long.
Wait, so you
You
mean-
can leave Raw with Seth
Yeah, I was like,
Rollins,
so you
Rusev,
mean
and Bobby
Vince
Lashley?
cares about the Fiend character?
No,
No.
he cares about
Like,
pleasing the two networks.
Yeah.
You need enough
That's his
guys
job.
on both, especially going. Okay, you got Ronda or not Ronda. You got Becky. You get Roman. Then
Yeah.
you get this, but then you get that.
where
It's-
do you think Ronda's gonna go if she comes back?
SmackDown.
Think she goes to
SmackDown?
SmackDown? So they'll have 3 UFC stars on SmackDown. Isn't Kane on SmackDown?
Kane's going where Brock goes.
Well, then he's out for the next.
Yeah. He's out for a
Yeah,
while.
He's out for a while.
So Kane and Brock will be on Raw. Ronda will be on SmackDown.
I bet Kane comes back before WrestleMania.
I don't.
I don't think so either. The knee
He's
injury
got
is
knee
something
surgery.
serious. Yeah.
Kane-
Kane
not-
versus Brock at WrestleMania. Fast track that
no,
surgery.
it's Lesnar versus CM Punk. I don't know.
Give him that.
Hello.
Give him that surgery Kobe got, where he came back in like 3 months.
Oh, like when he went to Germany?
Yeah, when he
got-
went to
yeah.
Germany, got someone else's
Yeah, then he
knee.
tore his Achilles, dude. You seen that? What?
Yeah, Kobe like literally like fucked his knee up like middle of the season.
Right.
Went to Germany, was able to come back towards the end of the season, tore his Achilles.
Using methods that we can't touch.
Listen, we hey,
Well, we
man.
got into that last week with a lot of stem cell. A lot of wrestlers right now are traveling to I don't even know where to get the stem
It's like
cell.
the Edge thing. I mean, that's the rumor.
Edge has someone else's
Well,
neck.
It's not someone else's.
Well, we'll
It's-
find out how serious that rumor is at the Royal Rumble because that's supposedly when it's going to
I
happen.
would love to see Edge come back. I don't
Edge
think
come back in
Edge
the
is not coming
Rumble.
back.
That's the. If he does come back, that will be then. If not, then it's not going to happen.
I just need one more Edge singles match and I'm good. Edge should have a
Wipe
send off.
away that last match, Patelia.
Yeah, Edge should have a Edge should have a send off against Christian because Christian ain't hurt.
But so
Or just do New Day versus
these
Edge
are
and
all
Christian.
stories, or these are all rumors too. The thing with Christian is, even though no one's ever admitted it, the rumor is that he was just as bad as Daniel Bryan with concussions. That's why the WWE quietly made him retire. But never
Well, yeah, have you seen all the
there's
bumps?
no send-off.
Have you seen all the bumps he took in TNA? That makes sense.
I mean,
was-
it is upsetting that Christian never got a send off.
Yeah, I was
It was
just
an abrupt end.
But
I was just
again,
watching
Vince
a-
never liked the look of his face.
that's
And that's not
bananas.
quite one that I understand for Christian. Trust me, there's guys in the business that I don't like their face either. But
But
they can win
Christian,
matches. They can win matches.
shoot,
I mean, Christian looked good with the World Heavyweight title. I thought that was a good move for them, and went back to Orton. 'cause-
Didn't call him Captain Charisma for nothing. He was good at what he did.
him
No
and his,
Edge, but
I was a peep for a long time.
who wouldn't be? When he did the spin-a-rooney and called it the peepa-rooney, that was
That
amazing.
was great.
Who ordered the pizza with extra? Peepa-rooney.
Just the corniest
Christian
white.
Cage,
Yeah,
love you, man.
Christian Cage, man. It's good stuff.
As usual, we're just all over. And we're gonna get back to some GCF stuff too with questions. Trust me. But 14 years ago, let's get sentimental for a minute.
TJ's
Oh, damn it, TJ.
TJ.
I'm trying to get deep here. Hold on. Okay, fine. Do what you do.
RVD got stem cells and now he's having threesomes on the regular. Sign me the fuck up.
So,
This
RVD
is true. RVD's got a little sister wives thing going on.
RVD has a wife and a girlfriend.
That's-
I mean, he admits it.
Yes.
They're in a couple.
Well, they'll call him the
They're not
whole
in
damn
couples.
show for no reason.
They're a 3-person relationship. Rob, that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back. I got to somewhat
Yeah,
sentimental.
yeah, it's-
14 years ago today, we all lost Eddie Guerrero. That was the first. I can't say the first major because obviously I lived through Owen Hart. But this was the first one that really hit home. I was a kid when Owen Hart passed away. When Eddie Guerrero, and I remember the weekend it happened to, hearing that we lost Eddie when he was going, you just know he was going to win that title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, so 14 years ago we lost Eddie Guerrero. The question was favorite match of Eddie's or favorite promo. God. I don't know if I've seen anyone with the total package the way Eddie had it since.
I know.
And,
Charisma, promos, wrestling.
And because he was so original and different than and I remember even at the time when they were comparing Eddie to Shawn, I'm like, two different things.
No.
You can compare his athletic ability, I suppose, but like just Eddie was so different, and it's in a way that hasn't been replicated. I would say favorite matches of Eddie, go back to some of the classics with Dean Malenko.
Yeah.
But they were all, he had so many damn
I mean,
good-
his match with Brock when he won the title.
the match with Brock was so different even. Go back to the Cruiserweight division in WCW.
His matches with Kurt Angle were
lot-
absolutely fantastic.
Even-
WrestleMania 20.
The
Yep.
teams, too.
Yeah, I was like, even
were
a lot of his
Los
tag
Guerreros
matches, yeah.
versus, what was it, Kurt and Benoit.
Kurt and Benoit,
versus-
Kurt and Edge. Well, no,
Yeah,
or
Edge and
Edge
Ray.
and
Edge and Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edge and Ray,
Yeah.
Kurt and Benoit, and Los Guerreros
Guerreros.
are some of the best put together tag
That was at
matches.
Survivor Series too.
They did a couple in a row,
Yeah.
I think. Like, that was the most comparable to Edge, Christian, Dudley's, and Hardy's.
Yep.
That's one of those things that'll eat away at you if you think too long of what could have been in this business.
Well,
I do
and then we
believe-
know the what could have been. He was supposed to have a match with Shawn at that year's WrestleMania.
That was the plan, yeah. Well, originally,
Yeah.
that weekend that he passed away, heading into that week, he was going to be in a triple threat match with Batista and Orton. He was going to win the title. That was
because
the
that was
plan.
when Batista was injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was going to win that title in that triple threat
And
match.
give Dave credit too. When all this happened, he stuck it out another couple months.
Yeah.
You lost one of your best friends, you're hurt, and you still stuck it out just to put the product over.
Yeah.
Batista's not given enough credit, and
No.
even I've talked crap on that man, but Dave is so awesome.
Yeah, he
Batista
really
is
is.
so good.
He kind of became underrated when everybody was
he
thinking
really
that he was
did.
overrated.
My man
He
Drax.
won the best, man. No, but back to Eddie. I mean, my all-time favorite. He's the one that made me fall in love with pro wrestling. In my opinion, he's the GOAT. Nobody can ever tell me differently.
No, he's got it all. He
Yeah.
had my favorite T-shirt. My favorite T-shirt of all time.
I'm
is
your
the Tabasco.
Poppy?
No,
Oh.
Tabasco.
Tabasco one?
Tabasco
Yeah.
Latino Heat.
Yes.
Oh, it's such a good shirt. But yeah, I'm your Poppy.
Can you believe I got in trouble for wearing the I'm Your Poppy shirt?
Not even
s-
just like a lie, cheat. And
No,
steal,
in
cheat to
in
win.
sixth grade, I got in trouble for wearing the I'm Your Poppy shirt.
And as crazy as that storyline was, that heel turn was so good as well. Like
Yes.
his heel turn on Rey Mysterio, that whole story going into it, it was
The
amazing,
Dominic
man.
storyline, man.
I mean, it was crazy, but it
Well, even
worked.
when he
It made it
turned-
work.
When he turned on Tajiri, who was just filling in
Yeah.
as a partner, and you're thinking that he cares about Tajiri, who's put on Eddie's car, he's like, and just throws Tajiri off, my car! My car! Like, that was so good.
Even his small feud with Cena when
For the US
when,
title.
when, when,
Where
they,
they
when,
had the
when they made the parking lot
parking lot
brawls
brawl.
thing.
Of them. I think one of the craziest chair shots till this day is the one JBL hit on Eddie at Judgment Day. That one was the
That
most
was-
brutal chair shot I've
and-
ever seen.
Well, even the last one he took, where
Well, from
they
Kennedy,
yeah,
Mr.
where they
Kennedy,
thought
that
yeah,
triggered the
that
whole
that's
thing,
the
yeah.
one
I
that
almost
killed
don't
him.
even
Yeah,
want to talk about that. But,
yeah, I know, because so much.
Another fun one, steel cage match with JBL, Eddie, frog splash off the cage.
One-
That was
Bradshaw has admitted there would be no JBL without Eddie.
No, yeah.
They did not want to put that belt on JBL. They didn't trust that he could carry. And Guerrero was the one who was like, if I've got to drop this, if you're going to have this character drop it, you need to pick him. You need to pick that villain. Like that, you
the
created.
one that was hunting for Mexicans at the border. The original Trump.
Yep.
Trump before Trump. Damn,
JBL essentially was.
damn. He's trying to build a wall, like rich. Now he's on Fox News. Damn.
But yes, I could go on and on about Eddie. And TJ did a very great post too, which is the truth. TJ essentially dedicated his career. Losing Eddie is what inspired him to get into wrestling. In many ways, I'm the same way.
Yeah, reading that post really made me tear up, especially knowing the fact that he used to have hair that long.
Hair today, gone tomorrow, man. You never know. You get
Ask
that.
Alex Caruso that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've lost a little more every day since having this company. Let's be real.
I mean, stress just gets to people, man.
This business is not easy on everyone. It's like
I'm waiting for my LeBron day to come where I'm fucking, it's,
keep dealing with the guys we're dealing with, and you'll lose it too. Cadillac, Di.
that's true.
And here we go. See, I think that's all the wide world Q&A questions. Now we're getting back into GCF. And here we go, guys.
All
if
right.
you watched last week, you saw what went down. But let me catch you up there. We proved that Cadillac was lying. From that, however, let's get into what the real matter at hand is. RJ has come to terms on a match with Jonathan Malice of OCCW, where both of our champions are going to compete with each other. We don't necessarily like either of our champs. John's had some problems with his champion, Vintage Dragon. We've certainly had some problems with our champion, Chris Cadillac.
He's knocked our champion out.
You know, that's what started all this. I won't get into that because
And Vintage Dragon is a former champion of ours.
There you go. I don't have to talk about knocking out Cadillac anymore because he's got to defend his belt. He defend our company. Let's be real.
Yeah.
This is the GCF SoCal Heavyweight
He's
Championship.
the face.
And
of
he's
the company.
taking on OCCW's heavyweight title, Vintage Dragon, title for title.
The two top guns in Orange County.
Now, what does that mean for
going
us?
one-on-one.
Are we having a, I don't want to say universal, that's garbage. We're having an undisputed champion of all of Orange County, of all of Southern California?
That's what it sounds like.
So,
One
So who
undisputed champion to rule the world.
one champion over both promotions. Mm-hmm. I would be so ready for that if it weren't the two people that are competing for this.
You know, I mean, I have no problem with Vintage Dragon. I like the guy. You know,
Vintage
I mean,
Dragon.
You know, Vintage Dragon. You know, when he won the title from what was that? Doesn't matter.
Vintage Dragon was our second
Yeah,
champion.
you know. So when he was champion, you know, we was talking. He was
held
like,
that
"Yo,
belt proudly for a show.
yeah, you know,"
And
and
then
he
was
was.
goaded into a match.
He was so proud of being our champion and representing us. Like, you know, he christened me as one of the Mexicans, man. I was about to be Mexican for a little
there
bit.
you go.
And,
But
you know,
let's-
I mean, I've been to Lucha Pro a couple
So,
times. It's cool over
Let's
there.
talk about this. This is an OCCW event. This is, tell them, RJ.
Black Saturday, November 30th, the day after Black Friday. It's Black Saturday at American Legion Post 555 in Midway City on Beach Boulevard across from the cemetery. Jesus. I
No
mean,
Fave 5 for you?
I get it's Black Saturday, but Jesus.
Wow.
Jeez.
I didn't mean it. God.
So you mean
just went there. You just
you mean
went
you
there.
weren't going for that?
No.
You just made it a
I
thing when it
I
doesn't need to be a thing.
Five times. I could have been talking about Subway $5 footlongs. You didn't know. You
Wow.
didn't take it to that level.
Booker T sounds way more appealing than Subway right now. But yeah.
The shucky ducky quack quack moment of the week. I didn't do his voice. It's all right. He just did this last night.
I bet he did.
I keep wanting to say Fox and Friends. On Fox and Friends.
Yeah, Black Saturday, where our champion, GCF SoCal heavyweight champion, that dastardly Chris Cadillac, will go one-on-one with good brother and OCCW heavyweight champion Vintage Dragon. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. RJ, are you siding with Vintage Dragon to win this match? You know, I'm going to be there.
It's been interesting. If
You
you've
know?
been keeping up with OCCW, Vintage has run roughshot with all his boys from Lucha Pro.
Yeah. I don't think we want that problem. We still got the DI
I've got
problem.
enough problems to deal with in GCF now,
don't
and
think
now
we-
I've got to deal with another promotion.
Another invasion?
I thought we were on good terms with most promotions around us.
Yeah. I mean, if we can get some
if
help.
we're prepared to share our belt in a grand scheme here. But what I will say is, well, it's our title.
Yeah.
Whoever wins this match, we still have two number one contenders.
But whoever wins this title, which belt are they keeping? I mean, I feel like our belt looks
I
pretty
feel that
good.
we're unifying. Is there a new belt in the future?
No, that's expensive. So yeah, they'll be holding two belts, I guess.
And this is my problem. Do I want Cadillac to lose our company's title design? I put my hard-earned cash into this. The investors have certainly put their hard-earned cash. They hired me for a reason. I haven't seen eye to eye with them recently, but I don't want to see anything that I've been behind suddenly gone.
Well, that's another interesting topic as well. You have already two number one contenders. Let's say
Joey-
Caddy was to lose, would he get a rematch? I mean,
I'm going to say no.
when does he bank on that?
Yeah, no, fuck that. I don't think
Cadillac
we need.
has to get in line after that.
Work his
because
way back to the top?
We named two number one contenders. That's Joey Barone and Mikey O'Shea.
You gosh damn
At
right. he
our
did.
next event, run by just GCF, we will have those two in the main event. Now, who's going to be the champion?
We don't know.
So,
I mean, am I the only? I mean, I'm not like nervous about it, but I mean, I don't know.
Some people would say it's a win-win since we don't like the champs.
Could be
but
a lose-lose,
It could be a lose-lose.
Because Cadillac could have two titles, and
But do we want that? Because at least then I get to see our title. This is what I'm saying. You kind of put me in the. I signed the contract after, but you and John came up with this. I'm out of the loop on certain things.
You know, yeah, you're right.
All right.
Cadillac fears Lil Cholo.
I wouldn't doubt it.
That was
Wouldn't doubt it.
Lil Cholo watches our show. Lil Cholo, man. Hey, man, him and
Homies.
Lucha Homies should come to GCF sometime.
We're getting tag belts in the near future. Just something to think about. I know I got some more Q&As to get to on that.
Lucha
We'll
Hom-
get back to that. But something to think about, Lucha Homies.
Lucha Homies.
Let's get back into this Q&A, GCF-related topics here. All right. This question is, what happened with the Ruby Reyes Katana Vera incident?
Well,
Arn
this
didn't
is
like
this is a
talk
sore
about it 'cause
subject.
Ruby won't answer his calls.
No, she won't answer my DM still.
For those unaware, Cadillac took on Ruby Reyes, and Ruby was this close to winning that match and becoming the first ever female heavyweight champion.
Can you imagine what would have happened if she would have won? Like,
That would have been amazing.
she would be on the show
But
hosting with us. I mean, I like you, Hollywood, but I mean,
yeah,
like,
but this went down. Cadillac called on old favors from old friends, and Katana Vera interfered. And
we never really got an explanation from her. She kind of just like disappeared after that.
yeah,
Chaos
I'm a
ensued.
little curious if she's going to be at OCCW's event. Maybe she's got something to answer for. If Cadillac's around, they're probably in this together.
Well, it's unfinished business for sure.
So that means like Ruby, like you should answer my DMs,
Now,
so
however, would I
like
like
you
to
could
book a
come.
match of Ruby Reyes versus Katana Vera? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
We should.
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
something that needs to be seen. It's business that needs to be
I mean,
cleared up.
yeah, like Ruby. I'm just trying to get you on the show. Like I'm kind of past the whole like Sizzler thing.
RJ's a little creepy, but he's a fan. Let's leave it at that. Ruby,
Just
he's a
businessman.
fan.
You gotta establish the creepiness.
He's watching.
Oh, jeez.
All right,
just watching.
more GCF questions. Love it. I love it. Who would you want Hyde to challenge next? That's a good question. Hyde is a young up-and-comer that's definitely
Huge fan of his work, man. That kid.
if
is
you saw him at our
unbelievable.
last event, he essentially wrestled 2 matches.
Yeah.
Yes.
Took on Helmuth. When that match ended in DQ, he teamed up with Thunder and Lightning to take on DI. And they won.
Yes.
Yeah.
In no small part thanks to him. He was.
And he looked phenomenal in both matches. I mean, he was an MVP in my opinion after watching.
I would
it.
like to see.
So who would I like Hyde to challenge next?
I'd say Hyde versus Matt Vandegrift. Why not?
Ooh.
Matty V. My
Breakout
boy.
Star versus another breakout star.
I'm trying to get a match of the year candidate for next year. You know.
You know, I'm pretty proud of our product. I can submit quite a few. Jesus. Getting a little nervous there.
Well, I was just thinking about the whole Ruby Reyes
Hyde
thing. We're
versus
just
Matt Vandegrift would be amazing. Hyde Trent. Does Hyde enjoy UV division?
That's what I was
You
about
know?
to say. I would love to see him.
I
challenge
mean,
for
he
that
looks like he shops at Hot Topic pretty frequently, so I
Does
wouldn't
that
doubt it.
qualify? So because you dressed I'm wearing a.
That makes you the
black
number
and
one
Braves,
contender
I
for
mean,
You were just talking about it. You want to win the UV title in like 3
yeah,
years.
but I'm saying, yeah, I do, but I'm just saying, just because everyone wears the product from Hot Topic.
Have you
So for
seen?
future talent,
I was
shop
like,
at Hot
have you
Topic and you'll
seen
be
people
the-
who shop at Hot Topic or work at Hot Topic?
Yeah, you've probably hit on a few.
Well, yeah, that's happened.
Basically, the sky's the limit for Hyde. I have
Yeah. Stellar
Not been
talent.
dis-
Snipes
yet.
versus Hyde.
might be confusing the name of the hat
Hyde Snipes.
on the card.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that would be a great match. So yeah, Hyde.
Well, the biggest thing with Hyde, I think you can put him against anybody, and he's
Absolutely.
definitely like he's going to guarantee you a pretty solid match. I mean, from the shows that we've booked him, man, he's been fantastic.
If we had him team with Guy Cool, they'd be Hyde Cool
Or Cool Hyde.
or Cool Hyde.
All right, let's get through a lot of these Q&As because we're actually nearing time.
Hell yeah.
Is anybody willing to step up to Tony Reyes? No, nothing against Tony Reyes at all. He's a fantastic champion. He's put that division on the map, but I think quite a few people are ready to step up
Actually,
to
no.
Tony
A
Reyes.
couple of people I've frequented the hood recently, and my good friend Human Tornado was asking me about Tony Reyes.
Human Tornado was asking about Tony Reyes.
Yeah.
Not to name drop, but I do know that Tony Reyes has already mentioned a few things to Homeless Jimmy, the current UEW champ.
Aren't they? Yeah, I heard some things going on.
Yeah.
You think you'd want to wrestle Shiloh Greaves? No.
You know,
Is that? Is he gonna start bashing us on Instagram
it's
now?
your company. You do whatever you want.
No, we don't need
Shiloh's
that.
a phenomenal
No,
athlete, so
no, we're
let's
good.
see
We're
about
good.
that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
But there are many people that
Daddy issues, tattoos, and colored hair. Now I feel like I'm getting attacked.
Adrian Quest versus Hyde. Sorry to go back to a question, but that'd be an amazing match. So yes, there's an entire division. Keep watching for Tony Reyes' opponents.
Yeah, I'm sure. there's
He
a
just
bunch
put
of people
on a
online.
clinic in our last event. He took on Sinbo.
Did he? I mean, he survived. I don't know about a clinic. I mean, he almost died like twice in that match.
Okay, so if he didn't put it on, they still had a match that you want to see.
Well, that defines the whole UV division right there.
You go look
Attempted
at the 1 minute
murder?
clip. We've got a 1 minute clip up on GCF YouTube of Sinbody thanking Al Snow. True story.
Yeah,
Go check it out.
That was a bizarre moment.
Sinbody
In
is a veteran that puts over the spots he steals, and he thanked Al Snow. That's what you guys should be, doing in your careers. No stealing. If you're gonna steal a move, put him over. I want to see everyone that does a shooting star just scream Billy Kidman as your shooting star.
Can you imagine if Lesnar did that before he almost broke his neck?
he probably did. That's why he did it. Billy
God.
And Seth Rollins would have to thank a lot of people.
Kid, Cody Bushi.
All right, I may even save some of these questions for next week because we're actually getting at time here. But let's go with. Let me see here. Which one do you want to answer here? Well, I'll finish with that and then announce
think he
something.
holds-
But
Has your opinion of Mikey O'Shea changed, and do you think he holds a grudge against RJ and Saint?
has my opinion of Mikey O'Shea changed? No. My opinion of Mikey O'Shea
What's up with the
has
snarky ass
been
smile?
the same since day one.
Oh, because you never liked Mikey O'Shea.
I'm not saying I never liked Mikey. I'm just saying we picked two faces for this company. You picked Mikey O'Shea.
I did.
Now, have my opinion changed? Is this going back on, you're asking about what Mikey's been doing? Let's go back. Mikey O'Shea sided with Vintage Dragon at OCCW's last event.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Cost Team OCCW the match. So is that why you're asking me if my opinion of
But
Mikey
in
has
crazy retrospect, he cost Vintage Dragon the GCF Heavyweight Championship, and it's the reason why we're in this mess now.
changed? So, where's
We
that
made this
from?
man #1 contender.
And if Vintage wins, is he just laying down for him?
I mean, I would
So
like
has
to
my
hope.
opinion of
No,
Mikey O'Shea changed much? No. But I think Mikey's got some decisions to make real soon. And do I think how did they word it? Do you think he holds a grudge? No. If you've listened to Mikey, it sounds like he holds a grudge against Jonathan Malice.
yeah, I think
I don't
think
think
we're good in
even
his
on
yeah.
Mikey's radar
Yeah,
other than he wants a piece of Cadillac, but then
Yeah.
he might just lay down for Vintage in that match. So
Damn.
we'll see.
You
A
think he
lot of
just,
scenarios.
right? You think
Lot
he
of
just
different
lay down
scenarios
for
to
Vin?
play out.
Has he really pledged his allegiance to Lucha Pro though? Has he?
I believe he did. He was running around with them when he gave the interview.
Ooh.
I've invited Mikey onto the show to explain. I don't think he feels like explaining himself to anyone right now.
Yeah. But I don't see him as a guy that would just lay down. He's not going to do a whole finger poke of doom situation here. I mean,
I would hope not.
Yeah.
Okay, one more Q&A, I guess. What's a pog?
I gotta teach you everything.
I guess
TJ will
so.
explain it later. So there's a PHAT asked white girl.
Oh, okay. TJ, let's talk.
Spell out PHAT. Let's say ass over the mic. All right. Last question here, and it gets into it. Will Guy Cool get the title shot he deserves? Hashtag justice for Guy Cool. What they're referring to is Guy Cool has a victory over Chris Cadillac.
Yes, he does. It's on.
However, what I'm going to say here is Guy Cool got the victory after an interference from the commissioner. I interfered and I jumped someone and then he pinned him.
So did you screw Guy
So-
Cool over title shot?
No! Guy Cool has a victory over Cadillac. Now, this match wasn't one that we put on the card. Cadillac put himself into that.
Yeah.
So it's almost like it didn't happen. Now, do I love Guy Cool? Absolutely. He's the party captain. But he's got to wait his turn. And for that, what I will say is this. I told you last week that now that there's a title shot on this OCCW show, I wanted to make our presence more felt. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to sponsor a GCF match on Black Saturday, aside from that heavyweight title. We're
Oh,
going to put Guy Cool in it.
Guy Cool in the wait. Come on,
Not in
man.
the heavyweight, no. We're going
Oh.
to sponsor a match with Guy Cool.
Oh,
He's going to take on someone that feels that he's brought it. He's an up-and-comer. He certainly brought it last show.
Hyde.
No.
Oh,
we got Snipes.
Oh,
The return of Snipes, who feels that he's got something to prove because he lost a great match, but he lost against Toxic Trent.
have you ever seen the Nutty Professor?
Come on, man.
What?
Well, go ahead.
Took that announcement there.
Like the scene where they're in the comedy club and Dave Chappelle
No.
there. Does that look like Snipes?
That looks like the White House.
It does. So here we go.
It does look like Dwight Howard.
Say- OCCW Black Saturday, November 30th.
30th.
GCF sponsored match, Guy Cool versus Snipes.
That should be a good ass match.
I'm not going to make false promises here, but I'm just saying Guy Cool feels that he is earned a title shot. Snipes feels he's got more to prove for us. Let's see what happens in this match.
So say Snipes beats Guy Cool. I mean, I'm not playing the race
That
card
would
here,
mean
but
Guy
I am
Cool's
getting
out
behind
of the
Snipes.
title picture, at least temporarily, wouldn't you think?
So are we pulling it?
Opportunity you can't waste, pretty much.
Yeah. So are we playing an AEW here, and wins are like counting, even though this isn't.
I
a
mean,
show?
I've been watching wins and losses from the start of this company. I'm not going to say that.
Shout out my guy Toxic Trent. Did I say that
Alright.
too loud into the
We
camera?
should make some
I don't
power
know.
rankings, man.
Right? We
But
should.
Should
you
make
want
some
this
power
hashtag
rankings.
for Guy Cool thing to go? I like it. I'm behind it. You know, you're the party captain. Bring it. Show it. I'm completely down for a future title match.
Well, actually,
But
Casey
Snipes
Casey
says
Pitt the
something.
champ.
Well, I mean, Guy Cool actually invited us to another party. He's starting to invite some more parties now.
we go.
But
You know.
here's the thing: it's on a yacht again. It's starting to get cold. Like,
It's trying to wine and dine you guys.
yeah,
I've got to find I'll take
a
it.
yacht in November.
A yacht. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's why
Titanic.
people
Well,
think
hold
that.
on now, Trey. I'm not giving out opportunities. I mean, he says he's got something to prove.
Oh, that's true. Toxic Trent did beat Snipes.
Toxic Trent did beat Snipes, and I look forward to more matches from Trent. Like I've said many a time, Phoenix Kid still hits me up about you, Trent, and I can almost confirm that we're going to see a Trent versus Phoenix Kid match come up here real soon.
Well, like in defense of Toxic Trent, if Snipes wins, that kind of makes Toxic Trent look even better because he did defeat him already. So it's kind of a win-win.
Then
for
Guy
either way,
Cool's
man.
under Toxic Trent? This is confusing. We need a power ranking
We need a
system.
power
We do need a
ranking
power
system.
ranking system.
That might sound good. I might come up with this next week. But guys, we are just about at time. So say it one more time. Plug OCCW presents.
Black Saturday. That's Black Saturday. The day after Black Friday. Saturday, November 30th. Doors open at 5:30. Bell times at 6 o'clock. This almost sounds like a GCF
At the
show.
555.
We're still pushing that, right? American Legion 555, Midway City. Why is it called Midway City? Because it's in between Westminster and Huntington Beach. That's Midway. You're Midway.
All right, guys, that's going to be
yeah.
it for us. As always, thank you for sending in those questions. Continue sending them in. Hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on Instagram. Tune in next week. We'll have more for you. For Joseph Saint.
Oh, Hollywood Hogan, my bad.
And the Pog Master, RJ Wallace.
Oh,
All right, guys.
oh my God, last week.
Leave it on the mat. Leave it on the mat, or you're just another mark. We'll see you next time.
Just save last week's career.
The Pog